Hello students, today we will revise our third chapter, which is square and square roots, cube and cube roots. Okay, so first we will discuss about square and square root. After that we will discuss cube and cube root. Okay, so the first is, what do you mean by square? Okay, suppose a question is, what will be the square of 4? Square means the power of 2. Remember this, square means the power of 2 and cube means the power of 3. Okay, so what will be the square of 4? Square of 4 means 4 to the power 2. This is 4 to the power 2, and this 4 to the power 2 can also be written as 4 into 4. When you will multiply it, you will get 16. That means the square of 4 will equal to 16. In the same way, suppose what is the square of 5? 5 square will be 5 to the power 2, and this can be written as 5 into 5, which will give you 25. That means 25 is a square of 5. Okay, now the next is perfect square. How to find out a perfect square? There are two methods of finding perfect square. First is prime factorization method and the second one is long division method. Okay, first we are going to discuss about the prime factorization method. After that we will discuss the long division method. Okay, so perfect square. Suppose a question is, you have to find out the perfect square of 7 to 9. Okay, first of all, do a prime factorization. You have already studied in your earlier classes how to find out the perfect square by a prime factorization method. When you will solve 7 to 9 by the prime factorization method, you will get this. Okay, so now start making the pair. For the square, you have to make the pair of 2 digits. Okay, for the square, you have to make digits of 2. You have to make the pairs of 2 digits. Okay, so start making the pair. Suppose this is the one pair, and in the each pair the digits should be same. Remember this, you cannot make a pair of 2 into 5. 2 into 5 cannot make a pair. You can make a pair only 2 into 2. This will be a one pair, or 5 into 5, this will be a one pair. Okay, in each pair the number should be same. So this is the one pair, 3 into 3. Now this is 3 into 3, this will be the another pair, and this 3 into 3 will be the last pair. How many pairs are there? 3 pairs are there. And so this is so the question is, 7 to 9 is a perfect square or not? Okay, in the factorization of 7 to 9, all digits are equally paired. All digits are having their pair, so that we can say that 7 to 9 is a perfect square. Okay, suppose take a simple question, take 4. Okay, how you will write 4? Suppose 4, you can write 4 as 2 into 2. Okay, this 2 into 2 is making one pair. Okay, that means this 4 is a perfect square. If you are having a number, suppose you are having a number 2 to 5. In this 2 to 5, you are having this 3 a pair, 5 into 5 a pair. That means 2 to 5 is also a perfect square. Now next question is given in this chapter. How many numbers lie between square of 18 and 19? How many numbers lie in between? Remember this, in between the square of 18 and 19. First of all, check that 18 and 19 both are the consecutive number. Consecutive number means, what is a consecutive of 1? The consecutive of 1 is 2. Okay, so the consecutive of 18 is 19. So both are the consecutive number. So just do the simple thing, take 18 and multiply it by 2. When you will multiply it by 2, you will get 36. Means 36 numbers lie in between the square of 18 and 19. Okay, next is square root. How to find out the square root? The symbol of square root is this. This is the symbol of square root. Okay, if here it is written 2, that means it is a square root, and if here it is written a 3, that means it is a cube root. Okay, in the same way, square root means first you have to do a prime factorization. After that you have to start making the pair, and in the each pair you have to take two digits, two same digits. Okay, so the square root, suppose let's take an example under root 2 to 5. First of all, do the prime factorization of 225. When you will do the prime factorization in the under root, you will get this the number 3 into 3 into 5 into 5. Okay, now start making the pair. 3 into 3 will make a one pair, 5 into 5 will make a one pair. Now from the each pair, take out only one digits from outside the square root. From each pair, take out only one digits. That means from 3 into 3, you write only one digit outside the square root 3 only. In 5 into 5, you write only one 5 outside from the square root, means 5 only. Okay, so 3 into 5 will give you 50. That means the square root of this number will be 50. Clear? Next is this type of question is given in your chapter, that find the smallest whole number by which 405 should be divided. In your question it can be written as multiply, okay, but the procedure are same, divided to make it a perfect square. First thing you have to do is just find out the prime factorization. Okay, so when you will find out the prime factorization of 405, you will get a number like this. Okay, now first thing you have to do is start making the pair. 5 is not having any pair, so leave it. Okay, 3 into 3 will make a one pair, 3 into 3 will make a one pair. This 5 is unpaired. Suppose if you will remove this 5 from this prime factorization, this will become a perfect square. Suppose if you will remove this 5 from this factorization, this will become a perfect square. That means the unpaired factor is 5. Here you can see that 5 is not having any pair. That means the unpaired factor is 5. So the given number should be divided by 5 to make it a perfect square. If you will remove this 5 from this factorization, this will become a perfect square. So your answer will be 5. Now after that we will discuss how to find out the perfect square by the long division method. Now we will discuss how to find out the perfect square by long division method. Okay, I have already explained this method. If you will feel any kind of a difficulty, you can go through the YouTube and you can follow the link which I have given in the portal. Okay, now find the square root by the long division method, and this is your first question, 6.76. Okay, so first of all start making pair from the back side. Okay, when you will make a pair, this will be the one pair, and 6 is not having the any number, so just don't need to any kind of worry, just leave 6 as it is. Okay, now multiply the squares of a number for getting a number equal to 6 or less than 6. Square of a number means you have to multiply 1 into 1, 2 into 2, 3 into 3, 4 into 4. You cannot multiply like 1 into 2, 2 into 4 according to your convenience, like that you are doing in the simple division. No, this is a division for a square root, so you have to multiply the square of a number for getting a number equal to 6 or less than 6. This is the normal method for getting less than 6 or equal to 6. Okay, so first of all start check with 1. When you will multiply 1 into 1, you will get 1. Okay, but it is a 6. Now check for 2. When you will multiply 2 into 2, you will get 4. Now check for 3. When you will multiply 3 into 3, this will give you 9. 9 is greater than 6. Okay, so go through with the 2 into 2. So write here 2, again a 2, because 2 into 2 multiply is giving you 4, and write here 4. Now again add this number here, 2 plus 2, this will give you 4 only. Forget about the 6 here. 2 plus 2 will give you 4 only. Now here it is a 4. In the normal division you subtract them. When you will subtract, you will get a 2. Okay, after the 6, one decimal is there, so write a decimal. Okay, now this 76 is a one pair, so you write this 76 together in the downside. Don't write only 7 or only 6. this 76 is a one pair. Okay, so write the whole pair to the downside. Right here 76 means 276. Now you want a number equal to 276 or less than 276. Okay, now here is a 6, here is a 4 only. Okay, assume that here is a 4. Now what you will do is write a 4 and in the back side of the 4 write 1 and multiply with the same number 1 for getting a number less than 276 or equal to 276. When you will multiply this, you will get 41 only. Okay, now check for 2. Write this 4 as it is. In the back side 4 you write 2 and again multiply with the same 2. When you will multiply, you will get 84. Okay, now again in this procedure, when you will check this 4, in the back side you will write 6 and again multiply with the same number 6. When you will multiply, you will get 276. Okay, we want a number equal to 276 or less than 276. We get 276. So write here 6 and again 6 times and then 276, and when you will multiply, you will get 0. No need to add here. If so many numbers are there in the back side, then you have to add them, but if this is the answer, no need to add 6 in it. Okay, let's repeat this question. Suppose 6.76 is given. Start making the pair from back side. When you will make the pair from back side, 76 will become a one pair and 6 will leave alone. Okay, now you have to multiply square of a number to get a number equal to 6 or less than 6. Okay, so 1 into 1 will give you 1, 2 into 2 will give you 4. So 2 into 2 will give you 4. Again you have to add this number in it. When you will add, you will get 4. Remember this, here you have to add and here you have to minus. Now when you will minus it, you will get 2, and after the 6 one decimal is there, so write here a decimal. Now 76 is a one pair, so write this 76 together downside, 276. Now you want a number less than 276 or equal to 276. Now after the 4, one by one you put 1 and then multiply with the same number 1. When you will write 4 and the back side you will write 6, and again if you will multiply with the same number 6, you will get 276. So write here 6, here also 6, and 276 will give you 0. Means the under root of 6.76 will equal to 2.6. You can also solve this question by the prime factorization method, but if in exam it is mentioned to find out the square root by the long division method, you have to go through with the long division method only. One more example, suppose 0.2601. Okay, first of all do the same, start making pair from the back side. When you will start making the pair, this will become a one pair and this will become a one pair. Okay, first of all in your division 0 point is given, so write 0 point first. Okay, now this is the one pair, 26 is the one pair. Now you want a number less than 26 or equal to 26 by multiplying the square of a number. That means when you will multiply 4 into 4, you will get 60. Okay, when you will multiply 5 into 5, you will get 25, and when you will multiply 6 into 6, you will get 36. You want a number 26, so you will go through with the 5 into 5. So write here 5, again write here 5, add this 5 in it. When you will add, you will get 10, and after the multiply you are getting 25, so write here 25. When you will subtract it, you will get 1 only. Now what is the pair remain? This pair is remain and this is the pair, so you write 0 1 in the downside, so this will become 1 0 1. Now here you are having 10 only, na? Okay, so 10. After this 10, write 1 and multiply with the same number 1. When you will multiply, you will get 101. You want a number 101 only, so write here 1, here also a 1, and then 101. When you will subtract, you will get a 0. That means the square root of this number is 0.51. This is the notification of square root. After that, this was the introduction about the square and square root. After that, we will discuss cube and cube root. In chapter 3, the next topic is cube and cube root. Now, what is cube? In the square, square means the power of 2 and cube means the power of 3. Okay, simple. Now, what will be the cube of 5? 5 cube means 5 to the power 3, means you can write it 5 into 5 into 5. When you will multiply it, you will get 125, means 125 is the cube of 5. Clear? Now the next is cube root. In this square root, we were making the pair of 2. In the same way, here we will make the pair of 3. Okay, in the square root we were making the pair of 2. In the cube root we will make the pair of 3. Now cube root, this is the symbol of cube root. Here if we will write here a 3, that means it is a cube root. The sign of root is this. If we will write here 2, this will become a square root, and if we will write here 3, this will become a cube root. Now suppose you have to find out the cube root of 1000. Here it is written a 3, so it is but obvious you have to find out the cube root. Now do a prime factorization under root, and when you will do a prime factorization you will get this result. Now start making the pair, but you have to make the 3-digit pair. 2 into 2 into 2, this will become a 1 pair, and this will become another pair. In the same way like we were doing in the square root, from the each pair you have to write only 1 digit. Okay, in the square root also we were making the pair of 2, and from the each pair we were writing 1 digit only. In the same way here also, from each pair write 1 digit only outside the root. From this pair write only 1 time 2, only 1 time 2. From this 5 into 5 into 5 write only 1 times 5 outside from the cube root, means 5 only. When you will multiply you will get 10, means 10 is the cube root of this 1000. Clear? Now this type of questions are given in your syllabus. What should be multiplied in 121 so that it become a perfect cube? Okay, same way you have to just find out the prime factorization of the given number, then start making the pair. 121, as you all know that 121 is the square root of 11 into 11. So 121 can also be written as 11 into 11. But can we say that this is a perfect cube? This is not a perfect cube. Why? Because it is a pair of 2 and we want a pair of 3. So you want one more 11 to make it a perfect cube. Clear? You want, suppose if one more 11 was there, this will become a perfect cube. But here only 2 11s are there. So we want one more 2 so that 11 is unpaired. So 11 should be multiplied in it to make it a perfect cube. You want one more 11, that means your answer will be 11. Next is, what number should be divided in 54 so that it become a perfect cube? In the same way do the prime factorization. 54. When you will do a prime factorization you will get a number. Now start making the pair. Here 2 is not having any pair. Okay, so leave it. This 3 into 3 into 3 are making one pair. Okay, but can we say that 54 is a perfect cube? We cannot say 54 is a perfect cube because 2 is not having its pair. Okay, so suppose if we remove this 2, this will become a perfect cube. Yes, now this will become a perfect cube. So for removing 2, if we multiply it, if we divide it by 2, this 2 will be removed and this will become a perfect cube. So for removing the 2, just divide it by 2. 2 should be divided in 54 to make it a perfect cube. In the same way we were doing in the square root also, in the cube root also. Only the small difference is, in the square root we were making the pair of 2 and in the cube root we will make the pair of 3. Okay, so this was the revision of your chapter 3. In the next video we will discuss the next chapter. Thank you.